Hi, y'all. It's Neva from Manic Mama Musings, and I'm doing Mental Health Monday on a Tuesday. If you saw my community tab, I don't. I posted that there wasn't. Well, I don't know what was wrong and why YouTube, but I could not upload a video. Let me post to my community. Couldn't post a short because I was going to explain that it wasn't letting me. It wouldn't let me post a regular video, and I did a pretty good job on Mental Health Monday yesterday, and so I was very disappointed. And then I deleted it because I thought maybe something was wrong with the video in itself, encryptions or whatever in the heck is goes on. No, no. So I'm recording this on a Tuesday, and what I talked about was going to counseling therapy, and I was talking about how when I lived in Texas, and I'm not putting any state's healthcare system down, okay? But my experience in the town that I lived in Texas, I was not offered any type of counseling. I did have a wonderful care coordinator, my caseworker. She was really good. She checked on me. She would sit and kind of counsel me. I could tell her anything I needed to tell her, and unless I was a threat to someone or myself or someone else, it always stayed with her, and I could mind dump with her. Her and I became very, very good friends after I was no longer in her. Well, we built a friendship, and then I still stay in touch with her. She moved out of that town. I moved out of that town. Yada, 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 yada. So then I came here to New Mexico. Now, Texas, all they did, as far as I'm concerned, all they did was medicate me and over medicated me a lot of times. So when I went to the last mental hospital, which was Big Springs, it was a state mental hospital, I told them, I am with it enough to know if you're over medicating me, and I will refuse my meds, and that is my right. And so do not over medicate me. And they didn't. There was at one time that I needed some high powered meds. Let's just say I got very, very upset and anxious about something, and my blood pressure went to like stroke level. So that was the only time, and I agreed to it because it was that or isolation, and I don't want to be in isolation. So your girl made that choice. And then I moved here to New Mexico, and me and my girls were in counseling at Mental Health Resources, and we just got like switched, like they didn't have counselors that stayed, and so it's really hard to build up trust for somebody when you don't know if you're going to keep seeing that person after a month or two. And if you hear my kids, one of them gets very loud when she's watching TV. Anyway, so so I ended up at another place, and I first had this one counselor who, let's just say he broke some laws or whatever it is, like he stepped over some boundaries and stuff. And so when I switched to the counselor I have now, I really didn't think I was going to trust a man, especially after that counselor. But I've seen this counselor, goodness, probably about a good 7-8 years now, and I trust him. And I think I needed to trust a man therapist to be able to learn to trust men, because I have a lot of trauma from that. And my mom used to be the person other than my therapist that I mind dumped to. And if you don't know what that means, it's you have even people without mental illness. Okay, you know how everything kind of gets built up in your head. Oh, you can't. Okay, so and so made you mad today, but you were at work and you couldn't tell them off, or it wasn't appropriate to tell them off, whatever. Or so and so, like you got cut off on the way home from work, and oh, somebody flew you the bird, and blah 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 blah. You got all that junk in your head. It's really good to mind dump, which means you find someone you have complete trust in and just spew it all out. And being a single mom, my mom was that person for me, because I couldn't call my counselor up every time I was stressed. So I'd call my mom. She didn't ever offer, a solution because there really wasn't one. Is that empty?
No.
Okay. Sorry, cats being cats. Um,
Oh.
but she would listen, and it didn't make everything better, but it did help. Like I felt a little less anxious once I let it all out. I have my therapist for that, and I now have LJ for that. It's not to say that you have to have a significant other for this, okay? It can be a friend, it can be your mom. And if you don't have somebody, write it down. But if you are able to get into counseling, I recommend it. Now, the first counselor you get isn't necessarily, well, for one, you got to get through the awkward part. It's very awkward because it's two strangers meeting and you're about to talk about your most personal stuff, okay? And so you got to build that up. And I know people who've had counselors that, well, we have to talk about this right away. A counselor should never push you to talk about something. It should he should they should be able to draw it out of you without telling you, listen, we have to talk about this. And when you start getting uncomfortable about talking about something, it should be okay to stop. That's how mine is. He also has me doing EMDR for my PTSD. That's a lot of letters, isn't it? And I've made a lot of progress. Now, I might be seeing a therapist for the rest of my life. And it used to be when I first got told I was bipolar, that was before all the other stuff came along. I just thought, oh my God, I'm crazy. And I cried and I took it as this horrible thing. And then the idea of taking medicine the rest of my life, which I am on medication, taking medicine the rest of my life. And then when I started therapy, I thought, oh, this is just and I realized that some people are in therapy all their life. And I've actually accepted that. That's okay. If I don't have to be, wonderful, but if I am, that's okay too. Now, I can't say that when my therapist retires that I will go find a new one. I don't know. Because, like I said, the one before him kind of overstepped boundaries and yeah. But, and for all I know, I won't be in New Mexico all my life, so who knows? But, you need someone, and if you cannot, um, get into therapy, money wise or whatever it is, or say you, now I get to do mine over video and they're starting to do a lot more of that. And so if you are someone who cannot make themselves leave your house, the good news is that there are a lot of online therapies now. I do mine over video chat. Friday, I think I am going to go in and try to do my EMDR because I've been having some dreams. But this yesterday that's what I had started out about my therapy. I started out talking about some stuff, and then I've been having dreams about someone I care deeply for in my family who has hurt me and disappointed me very badly, and I miss this person. I miss talking to this person, but I also I can't do anything about it. And so I talked to him about it, and that made me realize that's probably why he's popping up in my dreams, is because the holidays are coming and he's family and just feels kind of weird. And so, you can start out talking about one thing. Like it used to be, we'd start talking out about just everyday stuff and then always end talking about my sisters and my dad. That's stuff I'm not going to share because, I love my sisters and yeah. But, yeah, that was a lot of, I think a lot of things at that moment that were getting to me. And so, and I got sad afterwards, realizing that I miss this person that much and that things may never be the same between us. But it was good to talk about it and realize where these dreams are coming from and admitting to myself, because I kept telling everybody I don't miss him. I'm fine. They're fine. Everybody's fine. Fine, fine, fine. We're all fine. We're not. But it felt good to admit that to somebody. Am I going to admit it to everybody? No, I'm not. Just because nosy people like to talk, and it is what it is. If you cannot do counseling, like I said, if you have a close friend, or if your significant other, if you have a significant other and they're your best friend, like mine is, do that, mind dump to them. A mind dump to your mom or your dad or your sister. Or if you don't feel safe doing that, write in a journal and just write and write whatever's in your head. Okay. And then if it gets so that stuff in your head is just that bad, there is the suicide hotline that you can contact, and and let them know, listen, I'm not okay. Sometimes they can talk you down from where you're at and you'll be okay. And then other times, I will admit, you have to go to a hospital. I've been to 3. I never called the 1-800 hotline. I had my caseworker. It was all in Texas. And I still blame that on not proper medication. Okay, so I got super bad postpartum after my twins. And it went untreated and undiagnosed. And then my bipolar, the hormones, I guess they went like all kinds of willy-nilly. And my bipolar went out of control. And so those were factors. And I was a single mom of 3 small children, because when I got pregnant with my twins, my oldest was 2. And so that was a very stressful situation anyway. And then my hormones did not help. And then on top of that, I blame not being medicated properly and no counseling. Like, I saw my caseworker, and yes, I could reach out to her, but it was usually emergency situations. She had a telephone number that we called for emergencies. I couldn't just call to talk. And at the time, my mom was very busy. So sorry, guys. And it was just, I didn't have a friend I felt safe to talk to. And so it was a whole lot of things. My oldest daughter's dad liked to push my buttons and push me to the edge. And so it was a whole lot of factors that led to stuff. But, and then the last time that I went, maybe I will talk in depth about that someday, not like every detail, but some of it, because it was the best thing for me. And I hated that I was there a month. I missed my kids, but I got the help I needed. I got taught to understand a lot of things about me. And then since I've been in counseling and I've done my own research, I've learned a lot more about myself and about mental illness and whatnot. So I will put the suicide hotline down below, because this time of year, we've talked about, people are more, they feel more lonely, I think, and then after 2020, things have gotten crazy. So I'm going to put the 1-800 hotline down there, if you ever feel like you need it. My email will also be linked below, in case you want to email me. If you don't want to comment it where people can read it, you can email me. What you tell me is between me and you. And I've built some friendships that way. It's always nice to build a bond with people who understand how you feel, because like me, none of my some of my family should be diagnosed, but they say I'm the only crazy one. And so I don't really, for the longest, I didn't have anyone to talk to, because some people might have some of the problems that I have, but they wouldn't admit it. Like, whenever they talk to me, they're like, just decide to be happy and you can be happy, or just forget about it. It's that easy. Just forget about it. And it's not. So my thing today is that if you can get into counseling, get into counseling. It's not as bad as you think, but yes, it feels very awkward at first. But that's just like meeting new people, making a new friend, going out on your first date, all that stuff. It builds time to feel comfortable. I felt really weird around LJ for like the longest time. Like I could not be myself. I mean, I kind of was, but I wasn't. And now he probably wishes I'd be a little less like myself, but
No, I like you being yourself.
he says that. But y'all should have seen when I had my first real blow up. He looked scared and surprised and probably was rethinking a few things because I would have. I'd have been like, this chick is loony.
Nope.
But anyway, so I'm lucky to have somebody who loves me just the way I am, but I do know that not everybody has that. That's what a counselor is good about because I didn't have that for the longest. My mom was the only one that she could not relate to me in any way, could not give me advice, but she still loved me through everything and let me vent to her. So LJ doesn't understand me. I don't even understand myself most of the time, so how can I expect him to understand me? But he does let me vent to him, and when I'm really troubled, he used to try to fix it. And I can't lie, still to this day, when I'm upset, he's like, "Are you hungry?" I was like, "Yeah." Although he and I both have to stop that because we need to eat healthier, and eating out is not healthier. And so we got to cut back on that. He's got to quit bribing me with food. But he did do that. I don't know if it was to change the subject or he thought it'd make me happy, but either way, once I could decide what I wanted to eat, things were better. It took a while, usually, because stuff don't. I'm just very picky when I even just take, like, drive through McDonald's and stuff. I don't know. We'll have a discussion about that someday too. But so you are not alone. I hope that you can find counseling where you're at, and I hope that you can find a way to get to it. If not, journaling is great. Like I said, my email is below. If you have a friend that you trust, ask them first. Say, "Can I talk to you about some stuff?" And, don't just spring it on them, because especially if they don't really understand mental illness, you're going to scare the crap out of them. And then there's like I said, when things get down to the nitty gritty and you get in a very dark place, there's always the suicide hotline you can call. So, that being said, thank you for watching. I am so thankful for all my new subscribers. I am thankful to be able to do this. I was really frustrated last night and I thought, did I break a guideline? Did I get a strike? Did they turn my channel off? I was so, because I really enjoy this, you guys. Like, I've been able to talk to y'all. I like it when someone tells me that something I said helped them that day. I love y'all's friendship. I love the nice things you have to say. And going with Mental Health Monday, Adventures in the Craft Room. Is that what it's called? Hold on. Just give me a minute. Let me see. No,
Convenient.
yeah, it is. Let me see. I was just Tales from the Craft Room. Okay, I will link her below, and I will link her. She has a
That's clever.
thankfulness. What is in that tamale? Oh, sorry, squirrel.
The dresses are cute. Squirrel. Anyways.
They are. I'm trying to figure out what's in that. Okay. That's not the only video up there, and I was getting distracted. But she has a thankfulness challenge, and I have joined in, and it is to let our subscribers know. I can't remember if that's part of it, but that's part of it for me, is letting my subscribers know that I am so very thankful for you. I'm going to try to tell you in every video here in November, so if you get tired of it, sorry, not sorry, because I am thankful for you. I'm going to try to remember to tell you, but also in a way of showing your thankfulness, making a nice comment on the videos that you watch when you're able. And I've been trying to. I watch on TV, but I've been picking up my phone and commenting on people's videos, because that does make us feel good. For one, when you comment, we know someone's watching and is actually listening to what we had to say. But on top of that, when you comment, like, and subscribe, it tells YouTube that people like what we have to say and they'll recommend our videos more often, which, I mean, you never know when it's I've had a lot of stuff pop up that I'm like, I wanted a recipe for something. All of a sudden it shows up because it was recommended to me, like it can read my mind, or a pattern, like, I'll have looked and can't find it. And then I'll be like, you know what? I bet so and so has the, and because they'll pop up on my YouTube. And so I'll go and look through their playlists and see if they have a tutorial for it. And so that's what your likes and your comments and your and subscribing does. And it makes us feel good too that you like what we have to say. So have a good night. Mental Health Monday on a Tuesday. And I don't know if I'll be here tonight again, but tomorrow I'm going to do Speaking My Truth and I'll be doing Word of the Week. So